All right, welcome to Black Myth Wukong. We have got the 9070 XT model here by Gigabyte. It's the gaming OC version, and let's get into the test. We are on low settings, no upscaling, and no frame generation right now, and we're using the FSR method. And right now we are at 90 FPS at 4K, and we are allocating 10.6 gigs of VRAM, and we are using 7.3. So we are well under our VRAM buffer here currently. So let's just get into it and check out the rest of this test here. So let's jump it up to medium. And I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to please subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, welcome back. Thank you for supporting my channel. All right, let's go ahead and apply that and go into medium, see what that looks like. All right, definitely got some fidelity back. The image looks way better. Low is quite rough. All the textures are just gone. Okay, so right now we're at 83 FPS here. Our 1% lows are 8 FPS. Okay, that straightened out. All right, that was probably just some stuff with the menu. 0.01% lows are 62 FPS, so extremely smooth experience. That frame time graph is dead flat, looks really good. And our allocated VRAM is still well under 16. It's at 10.6. And we are just really doing well here. I mean, things look pretty smooth. So let's go up again, go to high, and let's just jump over here, graphics, make this quick. All right, jump up to the high preset, and we are going to go ahead and apply that. And let's see what that drops us to 69 FPS, still over 60. That's a good sign. All right, so we are at almost 11 gigs of allocated VRAM, right there at it, and our used VRAM is 7.7 gigabytes, so looking good. Again, you know, nothing to really get too worried about here. Our usage of the 9070 XT is right there at 98, 99. That's what you want to see. The 14600K in this machine is keeping up just fine. All right, so we are looking at 6973 FPS here, and we want to just see what we can do on the cinematic settings. So that would be the next level up, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so very high is next. We'll go to very high, then we'll go to cinematic. It's hard to keep it in my memory here. All right, so that is right at 54, 56 FPS. We are looking good on our VRAM still. Not a whole lot exactly wrong. Just we are under 60, so that tells me we're going to have to use a little bit of upscaling, and we'll do that for sure once we get to that cinematic setting. We're just going to see exactly what it performs like. But it's good to know that right here at 62 FPS we are able to run very high. All right, so let's just keep on going and run up this little hill here, go up these stairs, see what's up here. Then we're just going to kick it over again. I got some stuff down there to fight. All right, so let's go over to the cinematic setting and see how that performs with no help whatsoever. We've got no FSR turned on, no upscaling, nothing like that, no frame generation. All right, so that drops us down to 40 FPS. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. I'm pretty powerful, so these guys don't really last too long. All right, so looking at 53 FPS here, and yeah, let's turn on some upscaling and see what we can do to get this number up a little bit. That's also going to help our VRAM once we do some upscaling. So go ahead and turn that on, and we'll be on our way to a clean test here. All right, so let's drop it down to 67, which is a quality upscale, and that will see what we can boost this up to. All right, so right at 69 FPS. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. Oh man, he is just like wailing on me. Come on, man. There we go. Jeez, I don't even think I've been over in this area in a while. These guys are all brand new. I thought they were all gone. All right, so we're at 75 FPS here. Absolutely just performing rock solid. All right, I haven't fought this guy yet, so let's see. This is like, I guess, an optional boss. And I am on mouse and keyboard, so I'm probably going to get destroyed. Yeah, so 94 FPS, 93 FPS, looking like, we're handling all this just fine. So, yeah, let's see if we can get this dude here. There we go. Got him. I am pretty powerful. All right. I have beaten the game, so you know this dude will probably be a little harder to deal with early game. Let's go ahead and get this guy. All right, got us a new staff here. All right, so yeah, the main thing is this game runs pretty well. Let's just jump over into the FSR stuff and see what all it can do. All right, yep. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. We are gonna jump over into so graphics. Now this is in Chinese at the moment. I have looked it up. This is on. So yeah, it's a bug. I'm not sure what the heck happened. All right, so yeah, without any ray tracing yet, we are looking at 128 FPS on a quality upscale, and this is again with frame generation turned on. And we are going to turn on some ray tracing here in a second and just see how bad that is, because I'm not sure if it's going to be good. I can't make any promises. We're just going to see. Let's see if AMD has stepped up their ray tracing game. I hope they have, because that would be really good to see. You know, NVIDIA getting some competition in ray tracing. So let's turn that on and see what all that does. I am going to turn off the frame generation when we do this, just because I want to get down to a setting that is kind of a baseline. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to go ahead and restart, because that's a recommendation here when you turn on ray tracing. So I'll do that and be right back. All right, here we are, 4K. We just turned on ray tracing and we have met our match. Man, this is low ray tracing at 20 FPS. Whew, this is rough. All right, so we are looking like we're going to need some help here for sure. So we're looking like 12 allocated on our VRAM using 8.7. Now we are doing a mild upscale, but it is, you know, I'm not expecting any miracles here. Looks like the 9070 XT still has some issues with ray tracing. Again, this is low. This isn't even like high ray tracing or anything. All right, so let's see here. What are we working with? Okay, so we have this set. It always wants to drop by one every time I come in here. So I mean, this is going to have to go down to a performance setting for sure. And it looks like we're going to have to probably come down here and go with a high preset just to see how this looks. So just to recap here, this is a super resolution of 50, which is a performance setting. Our frame generation is still turned off, and our ray tracing is set to low with a graphics preset of high. All right, so let's see how this turns out and just jump into it. All right. Just trying to do everything we can to maybe help this out a little bit. All right, so that's looking a little better. We're at 42 FPS. Again, we're kind of at that stage where we're going to have to start making some concessions, unfortunately. And this is at 4K. So, you know, take that into consideration. I will do a 1440p video, and I'll link it here. If you see it pop up, then it's done. If you don't see it pop up, then I haven't done it yet. But once I do it, it'll be right here. All right, so we're just looking over here at 40 FPS or so. Looks like our 0.1% lows are about 17. Yeah, so this is where I kind of fought that dude earlier up there. I think that opens later in the game. I'm not sure, because I had never fought that guy before. All right, so yeah, we're looking like 40 FPS here. So let's just go on to the next maybe recommendation here. If you do want to use ray tracing, unfortunately, you're just going to have to make a lot of concessions. Let's go down to medium and see if that does anything for us. All right, so medium is about as low as I would want to play this title. It still looks really good. I would not want to go to low. It just zaps all of the textures. They just look so flat and so blah. Or, you know, you could just forego ray tracing, but it does look pretty decent in this title. It's definitely nothing like what Cyberpunk does whenever you turn ray tracing on and off. There's not like a huge amount of detail or, you know, I guess visual spectacle like that game is, but it does use ray tracing in some good ways. in my opinion. Better than most, I guess. But the performance hit is quite significant. All right, so let's see. Let's just go with a little bit more of a concession here. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to really work on this game right here. So again, I will do the 1440p version of this playthrough. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I don't want to go to low. That looks so bad. All right, so let's go down to a let's go down to 25 here, which that is. Let's go with what recommended settings looks like. All right, so let's apply recommended. So it wants us to go 50. It wants us to turn on the frame generation, obviously. So let's try this. This is the recommended setting for the game with this card loaded. So we're a super resolution of 50, FSR is on, frame generation is on, ray tracing is low, and our graphics preset is set to high. So this is basically what we had just with frame generation turned on. So it's at 72 FPS here. I am noticing a little bit of smearing, nothing too crazy, but yeah, I mean that frame generation is definitely upping our frame rate, but it's still not like giving us a snappy response by any means. I mean, my mouse is very rubber bandy. It doesn't feel good at all. So I would probably just say ray tracing is just not there on this card yet. I mean, unfortunately, I just think that for whatever reason, AMD is just still a little bit behind on ray tracing, which is unfortunate. I really wanted to say, you know, go for it. Like, this is a card for ray tracing now, but I don't think it is on this title at least. All right, so let's go with frame generation off, and we're just going to see what medium with very high ray tracing does with a super resolution set to 50%. All right, so this is probably going to be pretty bad. I just want to see, I'm just curious what the difference between low, medium, and high ray tracing is. 23 FPS. Ooh, that is bad. Okay, so yeah, ray tracing is just, I just can't say you're going to be able to do it on this game at 4K. Now, when you're at 1440p, I think you might be able to do it. So I will make sure that video is linked at the end of this one and in the title card when I mentioned it earlier, if you want to check that out. But yeah, it looks like 1440p is what you're going to have to run if you want any kind of decent frame rate with ray tracing. Now, without ray tracing, this title runs perfectly fine on this game at 4K. I mean, we saw it earlier, it runs great. So once you turn that ray tracing on, though, things just kind of fall apart, unfortunately. So yeah, let's just wrap this up here, and I'm going to jump over and do the 1440p version, so that way everything's done. And then if you want to see that, just click at the end of this video. I'll have a title card set up for it. And yeah, we'll see you in the very next one. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps me out tremendously. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video, and we'll see you in the very next one. Peace.